Phillips here, joined by Robert Tucker on the right there. We'll be telling you about what we're having for lunch today. I just lost it. Oh, we'll be having pizza sticks. It's like salad, fruit, and a drink. And today is also a home football game, first round of playoffs, if y'all want to come out and support us. And we looked to get this W, you feel me? And that's all I have to say. Y'all have a good day.
What's up, Nice Nation? You're back with the weather team. I'm Brett Roberson.
I'm Bria Bean.
And today we're telling you the weather.
The high is 67.
And the low is 55.
And it's going to be rainy.
They're like one of them umbrellas to get a Cracker Barrel.
Hey guys, welcome back to Nice Nations TV. I'm Gianna.
I'm Albert.
And I'm Genesis. And tonight is the ACT study night.
Tomorrow is the test day. Doors open at 7:30. Bring state-issued ID and printed entry ticket.
Tonight we have a home football game against Bowling Green. It's our first playoff game. Please support our LCN Knights.
Woo!
Yeah.
Come support.
For a pretty big majority of my life, I've struggled with anxiety and depression. I grew up in a really great home, actually. It just didn't have Jesus in it at all. So when I was around 10, it was a really natural thing for me to say, okay, I don't want anything to do with God. I am just an atheist. So my anxiety really started around that age. I would start getting really anxious whenever I would do something as simple as maybe taking a test, getting on the bus, going to the cafeteria and sitting with people. I started attaching these storylines to it. Justin, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna sit down, and everyone's just gonna get up and leave because no one likes you. I would start getting so anxious about everything. And then around that time, I started hearing these thoughts in my head, and they came out of nowhere. Justin, you're not good enough. Justin, no one's ever gonna like you. Justin, you're not talented enough. At that point, music was a really big part of my life, and that just hit home. And over the next couple years, I would constantly sort of hear that in my head. And I was around 12 when I started believing it. So that's not something that's very easy for me to talk about. But around that time, something really incredible happened in my life. I set foot in a church, really for the first time, besides like a funeral. And it was like a student thing, like we do every single Wednesday night. And a friend invited me, made me go. And I stepped in, and it was unlike anything that I'd ever seen before. I thought I knew what church was. I walked in, there's kids my age. There's like drums and guitars. I was like, okay, this kind of sounds like the music that I listen to. This is really cool. And that night, the pastor presented the gospel for everyone. It was the first time I had heard it. And it hit me, it hit me like a sack of potatoes. That's what I always say, but that's true. I heard for the first time that I had a father who wouldn't leave me, and that someone would care enough about me to die for me, despite who I was and despite what was going on in my head. And I wanted everything to do with that. So I got saved that night. I walked up, I floated up there, and I accepted Jesus. So I thought after that night, all of my troubles, all of my worries, all of my fears are just gonna go away. And in a lot of ways, my life got immensely better, but those thoughts kind of stayed. That was really the start to sort of this pathway to victory that I'm on still right now. God has done some incredible victories in my life with those thoughts over the past 10 years. So right now in my life, suicidal thoughts in my head, that's a thing of the past. But I still struggle with anxiety in a pretty big way. And not a lot of people know this, but how my anxiety really manifests in my life right now is stage fright, which I know is pretty hilarious considering what I do for a living, leading worship. What that looks like on a Sunday I'm about to walk out on stage. I start getting nauseous. I lose all feeling in my hands. I start shaking, sweating. I don't think I can do it. I start putting a storyline again. Justin, you're gonna walk out there, you're gonna trip, you're gonna sing off key, people are gonna judge you. All of these things. But God has given me some tools and some weapons to combat those lies. In a big way is He gives me some scriptures that I have cemented into my brain that remind me that He's good, that I don't have to fear, that He's there with me, that He keeps His promises, and that He is strong. So when I walk out on stage, I have these headphones so I can hear everything that's going on. I can hear what I'm playing, hear what I'm singing. And in those headphones, there are these microphones on either side of the stage, and I can hear you guys sing. And we start singing, and you guys are singing back of God's mercy, His kindness, His goodness, that I don't have to fear. You sing back His promises to me, and I can hear them. And it's so contrary to what's in my head that those thoughts just melt away. Got to save my sanity thousands of times in corporate worship, and you guys have a huge part of that. Psalm 56:3 says, "When I fear, I will put my trust in you." It doesn't say you're never going to fear anything. It says, when I fear, I will put my trust in you. And there's such a comfort knowing that in the middle of every situation, in the middle of every battle, in the middle of every fear, whatever it is that you're going through, you can trust Him. He will be there with you, and you don't have to do it alone. I can't stop smiling.